Ready?
Yep. Yep.
All right, I'm stopping. My video is starting.
Well, it's good to be back. I felt like we had a little bit of a hiatus. I know we were toying around with some of the live sessions.
Yeah. All right,
That
folks,
was
we
fun.
are
That
live.
was
I know
fun.
we're running a little bit late. It's about 8:40 p.m. on the East Coast. We're currently streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all at the same time. You guys saw Hackers? I feel like I'm a god when the serial killer yells that out when he takes over all the channels at the end. You guys are not movie fans. All right, as usual, I got Mark with us, Movie Killers Podcast, mkpcast.com. And, it's an exciting time for us as we go live across all these different platforms. So, and Mark, the reason we're late, Mark, tell them where you were that you're late.
Well, I had to do research. I had to do firsthand. I had to do like a firsthand accounting of one of the movies that we're viewing tonight, and it was "Send Help" with. Oh man, I just drew a blank. Rachel McAdams. Yeah. Do you want to start there because I thought the movie was there was so much going on, and if I had to categorize what genre it belongs to, it's all over the map. It was a horror flick. It was kind of a romantic comedy, thriller, suspense, all that stuff. It had some of the like the recipe criteria that you would probably set up in one of your horror flicks. Singular location, a lot of stuff happening, low budget, um, good acting. I think Rachel McAdams is a phenomenal actress. She just in terms of like where I would put it in terms of genre because it was literally all over the place.
Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors, and we've talked about him a little bit. So if you compare him with Rachel McAdams and the kid from Love and Monsters, which I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, the movie has a lot of factors that make it look like it's going to do really well. And what's interesting with Sam Raimi is the biggest budget movie that he ever made, bigger than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, was just Sam Raimi. Spider-Man 3, and his second biggest was Oz the Great and Powerful, which I think has James Franco in it, which is a whole separate topic around being a movie killer. But when you look at his movies, his majority of his movies are 100 million or less, and he has big returns on his movies and what he does. So to Send Help, $40 million budget. Week one, it's already done 31 million. So it's on track to definitely be a moderate to high return, which is pretty much how we predicted. We gave it a high probability of a good return. So again, data speaks for itself.
Yeah, and I thought the movie was very entertaining. It was like plot wise, it's kind of similar to some of the movies that I've seen in the past, but in terms of romantic comedy, like those two, there's a huge age gap between the two. I thought they were actually going to hook up, but they did not. Um, but overall, I see why it's doing the numbers. And budget wise, they're just shot remotely in an island, and that was it, right on a beach. Special effects wise, I think there was the one scene in the beginning with the plane crash, but outside of that, man, there was literally no special effects.
So while we're going through this, and you guys know we're kind of learning our way through, this will be episode 7 once we upload it and we get it onto the platforms that are out there. And there's a ton of platforms that exist today. But there needs to be some sort of single interface that you can go in and look at comments, look at questions across the different components. So one of the things that's hurting us right now is I'm trying to bounce across each platform to come back and say, oh, is anybody commenting here? Is anybody commenting there? I know this has absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing, but it's part of the learning curve of what we need to figure out while we're doing this. So if you leave a comment, you have something to say, just give us a second because we're trying to figure out this as well. The other piece is we're trying to do more trailers and we're trying to discuss more detail while we show you guys and just make it overall more visual. But to go back to Send Help, if we look at Rachel McAdams, also Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where she was with Sam Raimi the first time, she has 24, 25 different movies that she's been in. And the majority of her movies, if you look at the data, do really, really well. So I know this is kind of counterintuitive to movie killers, but as we look at the data and we analyze the data, we got to call it out. Just like we called out when, Jared Leto, terrible leading man, great supporting actor. I think when you look at Rachel McAdams and the majority of her movies are lead, you got Wedding Crashers, which is great. And she plays the love interest in that. And then you have The Notebook, which, everybody is absolutely in love with. But I'm not going to read them all, but as you continue to go through these movies, I mean, tremendous. Sherlock Holmes, supporting role, but $90 million budget, did $524 million. Wedding Crashers, $40 million, did $288. Notebook, $29 million, did $118. So she very much falls into that same category of lower budgets, higher return. And her higher budget movies are actually the Marvel movies with Doctor Strange and the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But it just goes back to the theme of the show is, the data talks. When you look at these movies, you got to bet for her and not bet against her when it comes to how she's going to perform.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add to is when you ran those numbers off, the Notebook, obviously that put her on the map. The budget was $29 million and it made $118. The one thing that you got to point out is this came out in 2004 when $118 million was a lot of money. I think if you factor in inflation, right, it's probably 2 or 3x that number today. So for the amount of money that they spent on, production, salaries, etc., it had a really good ROI for the studio. And at the time, I don't think what's his name was even like an A-lister, right? He was a relative unknown.
Who, Ryan Gosling?
Gosling, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his first movies as well. But, as we continue to promote, and the one thing we're going to throw into this is I'm going to play the trailer real quick for Send Help. And I got to tell you, when I looked at these trailers, and I did look it up when Mark and I were talking about before, there are multiple award shows for trailers. And it's pretty interesting that you can go out and these guys, they submit the trailers and they compete and they win awards. And I love it because this is what gets you into the theater. I mean, nobody's going to look and say, hey, Rachel McAdams has quite the track record of ROI in her movies. They see these trailers and they jump on it. So this is one that I thought was great. So I'm going to play this trailer now.
There you go.
Next in line for VP. When Bradley takes over for his father, Martin.
Your father promised her a promotion.
Did he? As an executive, I see no value in you. Does that make sense?
What?
We have the merger coming up. Prove me wrong. Bring her, and then we'll ship her out.
And he's like the perfect douche, right? Like, did he play that well when you saw
I'm
it?
Linda Little. I want to be the next
Are there any others? Have you tried making a distress signal? Or a bigger fire?
Getting us out of here should be your focus, not being Susie Homemaker.
You do know you would have died out there.
Yeah, how do you think that would have worked out for you? Are you gonna hunt a boar? Linda from accounting?
Strategy and planning, actually.
Did you go see it in 3D? Was it 3D?
How valuable to the company am I now? No help is coming. This is how things are now. Not in the office anymore. You are stuck with an asshole boss, just like I was. Don't ever mistake my kindness for weakness. I don't think we should ever leave here.
She was great, dude. I didn't watch the 3D version, but her co-star Dylan Dylan O'Brien, he was good too. And the last time I saw him was, Love and Monsters, which he played kind of a dorky kid that was, dodging monsters. But this one, he pulled it off pretty good. He was the successor to his father's company. He became like the CEO, young kid, hotshot, brash. And then here, Rachel McAdams is, like that kind of dorky office worker bee that's does nothing but work, has like no social life, and they kind of make fun of her in the office. She's like a target. But
I mean, he looks like the total douchebag, right? Like that's kind of like spot on.
yeah, but in Love and Monsters, he was, I guess, adorable, right? He was very likable, I think, in that movie. The character he played was very likable, whereas in this movie, he was played the role of the villain. But the thing is, I thought I had an idea of what I thought the ending was going to be. I was totally wrong.
And don't tell me, because there's a lot of stuff when you're looking at trailers, and you guys know when I go in and I pull clips for different things, like I don't want to know how a movie ends until I get to see it. But there's a lot of stuff online about the ending's not what you expect. Why did it end this way? Like, explain the ending to me. So there's a lot of crazy stuff.
And another thing I wanted to point out is, and I don't go as often to the movies as I used to, but we went to the AMC nearby, and we talk about marketing and like how much dollars they spent. So pulling up into the movie theater, they had like this basically billboard on top of the building, and then when you walk in, you have that that very tall poster, that stand-up poster. So, and you know how much this stuff costs, right? Like you print out a poster. Like I was talking to Cam, I was like, man, look at that. That had to be at least $5,000, just that alone. And then you have this huge billboard outside. That was probably another $5,000. I don't know.
Well, that's why they double the price for marketing, right? Like they come back in like 20 million in marketing. Imagine putting that poster on 3,000 theaters around the country, right?
Yeah, so all that stuff adds up. But one of those movies, if I didn't see the trailer and I ended up watching the movie, I would recommend it. Kind of that word of mouth type of marketing.
Yeah, I'm absolutely digging it. And like I said, everything is pointing to this thing is going to do well.
Yeah, but you called it though, right? I mean, your prediction, I think we spoke about it 2 weeks ago, and you had to project it. Well, you had all the new releases for 2026 and what MKP was predicting, based on the movie ball analytics.
Yeah, and guys, if you think we're kidding, just go to the website. I mean, everything is up there. If you think we're going to change it, take a screenshot. Like, we're not changing it. What I'm going to do is, as these movies close or leave the theater, I'll put the result next to what our prediction was, and at the end of the year, let's see how it comes out. But I mean, right now, if I go and I look at it, I got Greenland 2, which, I mean, for all intents and purposes, was straight to streaming. It was in the theater for all of about 2 weeks. I don't even know how to put that on there. I'm going to give it, I'll figure it out and I'll put a result on there. 28 years later, which we know is kind of hoping to break even. And break even to me is a moderate. If it's moderate, it breaks even. High probability, it makes money. High risk, it loses money. And the extreme ROI or the elite ROI, like Super Mario Galaxy and some of the others, means it just absolutely crushed the box office, like 4 or 5 times the budget number.
Yeah.
So send help right now, on the track to make money.
One thing I wanted to add to, and I know we talked about this, but I don't know how much of this we actually stayed on topic, but in terms of a theatrical release, all movies aren't created equal. They don't have the same, marketing push. So I just looked it up. And I think we should track this some way, somehow. But Send Help is showing in 3,475 theaters. So it has a good probability of making money just based on the budget. Throw in the marketing dollars, sure. You say 30 to 40 million on marketing. But this is a wide theatrical release. And I want to compare it to one of the other films that we're going to review later on.
Yeah, I got to think about that. I kind of look at it as, that's not my problem, right? And I know that's not the right approach, and I know that's not what you're saying. But if I spent $100 million, and I'll use Crime 101, if I spent $100 million on Crime 101, and I'm going to release it in 500 theaters, and Send Help spent 40 million, and they're going to release it in 3,000, do I have to take into consideration the return on a third or 20% of the theaters that the other movie was released in? Like, I think that's a studio decision. It'll definitely affect the revenue. I'm just not sure how to calculate that in, or if I need to, but we need to think about that a little bit. But it's a completely valid point. It's a good point.
Right, because I just feel like the numbers they're always gonna be skewed. There's not always gonna be a like for like. And I'm gonna use this one example because I was crazy about the movie. The Frankenstein from 2025. Limited theatrical release in October. Only focused on select screens in New York and LA.
You know what other movie your boy's in, right? Mr. Frankenstein? Take a guess. It's this week.
Dr. Frankenstein or the monster?
No, the monster. The monster. It's this week. It's coming.
Really?
Look, dude, it's this week. It's one of the movies in our topic, and it's not Send Help because you just saw it. You got a 50-50 shot.
The Helmsworth movie? No?
The other one.
Jesus. Oh, Wuthering Heights?
Yeah, he's Margot Robbie's love interest in Wuthering Heights.
No kidding.
Elordi, is that his name? Like something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He's the love interest. He's a good looking dude. You should see him. And I'll show you the trailer. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
But he is.
Yeah, but that's all I had in terms of a recap. A good movie. I mean, we've already stated it was going to do well before it even released. It's living up to the hype, and I think at the end it's going to be one of those profitable films.
I'm with you. That's in the theaters today. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, folks. I got this cough. I don't know if I have like tuberculosis. I have the consumption. The next thing is we're going to try to go into what's coming up in the near term. And then after we go through this in the next couple episodes, don't worry, we're going to go back to ripping up a couple actors. And it's really interesting when you start looking at this and people start throwing names out. And we've talked about it, all the names that people throw at us. But I'm really, really down on Ashton Kutcher. And I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent because The Beauty is out right now. And he really just ripped that off of The Substance from his ex-wife. His friggin' movies make money. And it's disappointing to look at that guy and know what a clown he is, and then look at the numbers and see how much money his movies make. So I had him on the list, and I'm going to have to take him off. But the next thing that's on the list is maybe James Franco, but we'll go into that a little bit. But
let me ask you this: Ashton Kutcher, are you just a hater, or are you just
a hater? Like, I just don't
see that. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the data. I looked at the data. The data makes money. The whole thing.
You would have been excited to trash him had you found out
100%.
He doesn't ROI.
I would have been very excited because the whole reason is like him, Mila Kunis, Danny Masterson. There's a whole drama around that, and I'm not going to go into it. If you guys want to learn about it, read up on it, or Google it, or use Gemini, whatever. But the whole thing kind of turns me off. And do you ever see Step Brothers when they're at the Catalina wine mixer, and the guy goes, "There's something about your face. I just want to punch you in the face. Is there anything I can do to change that?" Nope. It's just your face. Like, that's Ashton Kutcher to me. Like, there's just something about that guy. I just don't like him.
Wow. I never felt that way about him.
Data says he's doing well. So I'm,
Yeah, I mean, 70s show, punked, like, early in his career. I don't think he was ever a movie draw for me, but I mean, I don't dislike the guy. I thought he was
personal.
Yeah.
It sounds personal.
It sure does.
It might be a little personal.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like when he like swept Demi Moore off her feet, did you have like a uber crush on her? I don't know. I mean,
G.I. Jane.
Maybe.
Dude, when she's doing those push-ups, those sit-ups, hanging upside down, she's got the hard abs, and she's running around, ready to ring the bell. She looked good in G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So the next thing we're going to hit on is Crime 101. So Crime 101, high-stakes heist thriller starring Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry. It's got all the Marvel characters wrapped up into one heist film. So right now it is, let me go back. I'm bouncing across like 5 screens right now. Apologize for that. It's got $100 million budget. Estimated revenue based on my data, a lot of analytics. Mark was laughing at me earlier because he saw me digging through all these numbers. $100 million budget. I'm guesstimating the revenue is going to be about 130 million. So that's a whole bunch of factors. I feed into the Whopper movie reference if you guys pay attention, and it spit out 130 million. So that's 200 million marketing, everything else. You guys know the math.
So let's call it your movie ball analytics.
Movie ball analytics says it's going to come out.
Pegs it at 130.
Yeah. If you're listening, we're out here, buddy. We're ready to come in. So Maya said my sound is too low and your sound is too high.
That's what somebody said?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I'll sit closer to the microphone. Maybe I can
Okay.
turn mine up. All right, Maya, send me a text. Let me know if it's going louder because I just turned it up.
But she said mine was too loud.
She said yours is a little loud, mine's a little low.
I'm turning mine down. Thanks, Maya, for the heads up. Okay, so Crime 101. Budget 100 million. The movie ball pegometer, well, we'll come up with a better name, is at 130.
Hey, I got a lot of super positive feedback on the Bendoza line.
See that?
Yeah. Bendoza.
I gave credit to John. I mean, he came up with the Mendoza. Actually, I created the Bendoza line.
Yeah, take the credit. It's all yours.
All right, so Crime 101. We saw a couple of the clips. Doesn't move me, man.
Well, let's watch the clip. I happen to have a trailer for that. So, Crime 101, we're going to watch the trailer, and then we're going to discuss. Trailer starts now.
Take a deep breath in. And exhale. What do you see? What do you feel? Feel this moment.
Hey, one guy for an insurance company. Get in. There's water in the trunk.
Could have been certain, could have been a G. Could have never snitched right to get to police.
He hits jewels, cash, and high-value items. He knows exactly what to transport and when. There's no DNA. He's in and out in seconds.
Your guy's untraceable.
I need that.
I came here to make you a business proposition. Worked at the same company for 11 years. You're a VP when you should be a partner.
Those high-value items your company insures.
I make them disappear.
Start by handing me your phone.
So you're a thief?
Guys you work for, you think they're squeaky clean?
I need to start considering myself and maybe my clients.
Don't threaten me.
Life's too short to drive boring cars, right?
If you see her with me, she's taken.
What's the security setup?
There's a courier carrying watches and gems, looking at $11 million in one room, of which I want 3.
Let him rob the courier, and then you'll rob him.
I need that.
My dad always said you gotta break a few eggs.
I'll see you again in a day.
Get down! Every series of actions creates a pattern.
It's not about the money.
What is it about?
I'm getting close. I know it. Hello, James.
Oh, shoot.
So the more I see the trailers, the less interested I become.
You mean it's like, it's a heist film, hot chick, Mark Ruffalo playing the same character he played in Now You See Me, if you guys saw that. The kid, Baby Driver, same kind of character, right? The awkward, goofy kid.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a double cross in there somewhere. I guarantee
Always.
it goes sideways. They got to panic and scramble. Say it again. There's nothing original coming out of Hollywood.
Yeah, like how many in the last, let's just go 15, 20 years. Give me your 3 best heist flicks. And I'll give you mine.
Reservoir Dogs. That's a heist flick. They do rob the jewelry store. Shit goes crazy.
Guess, yeah, you're right.
All right, Reservoir Dogs, my number 1. Ocean's 11.
Yes, that is on my list too, my top 3.
Yeah, Ocean's 11, good heist flick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got to think about it. What are yours? Give me yours, and I'll think about my third one.
So Ocean's 11, definitely in my top 3. Italian Job.
You just like driving the minis up and down the steps and driving the
that
minis
was
through the
brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
Den of Thieves.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'll give you that. I love Gerard Butler.
Dude, he was, he was on.
And 300 with the abs, looking good.
Yeah.
Lost the guy lost the eye. Tell the story. Come on. I don't know. I'm stuck on the third. There's got to be some stupid thing out there that I'm just like, man, that was great. Baby Driver. I really enjoyed Baby Driver. John Hamm, the music. Like, I thought Baby Driver was great. The kid, I can't think of his name. He did great.
Mm-hmm.
Child molester, Kevin Spacey. He's in it. That was like one of his last roles. So, yeah, there's a lot of good things going for that movie. And you know what threw me off with this that I didn't know that I would have given it much better rating? Little bit part by Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte.
Really?
Yeah, I would have given this like $800 million if I knew Nick Nolte was in there. No,
you wouldn't, or you would have?
I would have. I'm kidding. But this thing's not doing anything. But there's nothing original about it. But I do like Nick Nolte.
Here's a trivial. How old do you think Halle Berry is? Don't look it up.
I'm not going to look it up. 51.
59.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a guy who has a thing for Halle Berry. Talks about her quite a bit.
Too.
Right? You know the guy.
Too. Yeah. And speaking of age, so just watching the Send Help with Rachel McAdams, how old do you think she is?
50s.
No. 47.
You put those two together, you got a beautiful 50-year-old.
Okay. Sure.
All right, let's go to Chris Hemsworth. And this is what throws me off, and I'll explain to you why my math worked out the way that it did. Because if you look at Chris Hemsworth by himself, the guy is a money machine. Like, he's like Brad Pitt money. But you look at the movies that he's in, and you got crazy shit like all the Marvel stuff, all the Avengers, Infinity Wars, Thor, Love and Thunder might be in my top 5 worst movies ever. There's Geely.
Terrible.
Geely, hold on.
Yeah, it's pronounced Geely.
Oh, God.
Right. Geely.
Geely, by the way.
Friggin' atrocious.
My name is pronounced Geely. It rhymes with really.
Yeah, it's pronounced Geely. Yeah, atrocious. And then you got like Thor, Love and Thunder. $250 million budget. The thing made almost $800 million. Like, Chris Hemsworth is a money machine. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, this movie's going to do great. Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, great cast. But then you look at the director, this guy Leighton. He's never made a movie that had any kind of budget. He made The Imposter, budget $1.2 million. He's only made like 5 movies. American Animals, which I've heard of, but I don't know what it's about. $3 million budget. He made some movie called The Deepest Breath, which it's a straight to Netflix release, so they never released the budget. So it has an unknown budget. And then they throw Crime 101 on him with this cast with a $100 million budget. The guy doesn't even know what to do with himself. Now, he may shock everybody, but the data's saying this guy's in over his head. But I hope he does well. But I'm rooting for him, but I just don't see it happening. But that really dragged the numbers way down when you start looking at all the writer, the director, all the supporting team to go along with this cast. It's not there.
And I think the genre also, there's a ton of people like you and I, we're heist movie fatigue. Like, how many different variations can you possibly do? Because, the predictability of how the plot will twist and turn and,
There's nothing unpredictable about that movie.
Yeah. But I do like Hemsworth as an actor.
Hold on. I'm gonna go into the handy dandy supercomputer. My question is, how many heist movies have been made in the last 50
There you
years? Okay, this is based on industry databases, genre classifications, blah, 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 globally in the last 50 years. Take a guess how many heist movies have been made in the last 50 years.
You should clarify that query and limit it to just theatrical releases. Because I don't care about the B movies.
Now you're
Which
getting
still
crazy. I hate when you get involved in my
But you know what? I mean, if you want the data to reflect some semblance of consistency, you got to do it. We're not rating B flicks here.
Yeah, how many heist movies have been made? And then I'll give you two numbers.
Okay. You want me to guess?
I'll guess the total number and then guess like core heist theatrical heist movies. There's two numbers. One is, to your point, everything. And then one is core theatrical heist movies. Take the number for 50.
In the last 20 years?
50 years.
Oh my God.
Dude, you were born in this time frame. So since you've been born.
Okay, fine. I'm going to go with 118. Way low?
Way low.
Wow.
Way low.
Over 1,000?
Yeah.
There you go, man.
4,500 heist movies have been made in the last 50 years. 600 pure heist theatrical release movies. 600. And this guy's going to come out and do something that's never been done before.
And he's never had a budget this large with a cast ensemble, with this much
Yeah, you got it. There's a movie that's out right. It's an older movie. And again, guys, put this on the list. I'm going to create a spot on the website, must watch movies. It's called The Big Picture. And it's Kevin Bacon and Dan Schneider, right? Another child molester. We have a theme for tonight from Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider, young, Kevin Bacon, young. They made a movie called The Big Picture, and it's about Hollywood and all the craziness that goes on in Hollywood. And Kevin Bacon comes out of film school, and he goes into Hollywood. He won all these awards in film school, and he wants to make a movie. And everybody gets involved in his movie and tries to change his movie and alter his movie. And they all try to steer the movies into these very templated components. And as I get older and I dig into all this stuff and I watch all this stuff, I'm like, man, that movie was pretty friggin' accurate. It has to be. Obviously I don't live in that world, but when you see that the same things are just made over and over and over again, there's people there that are just steering these creative minds into something that just they think is going to make money. Guys, it's not. We're going to use this year to prove it. We're going to use this year to prove it.
Yeah.
All right. So we went through that. We talked about Chris Hemsworth.
Okay. Since I brought it up in our last, in talking about the send help, like how many theaters this is actually be showing. I'm curious how many Crime 101 is going to be showed.
You know what he was in that was great? Chris Hemsworth we're talking about. And I'm not talking about all the Avenger, like modern stuff. Like another movie for the list that's like an unsung movie that's like a cult classic that if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Go watch The Cabin in the Woods. I'm just looking at his list. I'm like, man, I love Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods was great.
I didn't see that.
You should definitely go watch that. It's a little quirky, a little odd. It kind of makes fun of horror movies. And then it takes this crazy twist. And it's one of those movies like The Martian. I can watch it every time it's on. I'll sit up till 2:00 in the morning and watch it over and over again.
So because it didn't release, there's no theater count official. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the big one?
Oh, God. This is so anticlimactic. I wish we had,
Margot Robbie? Guys, go back to episode 1 and
Robbie.
go back to episode 1 and listen to what my old sidekick had to say about Margot Robbie. It's funny. But now I have a new and improved sidekick.
Right. Yes. Lucky Chap Entertainment.
That's her production company.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed that I know that the name of her production company is Lucky Chap. All right, guys, no way this movie's making any money. If this movie makes any money, I got to come up with something. Like, I am that confident that this movie is doing nothing.
What's the budget?
Something atrocious.
I was looking for it. I could not.
You didn't read your weekly summary.
No. I have it in front of me. I'm sorry, 115.
Revenue predicted according to the analytics, which I am really fighting hard to keep my personal opinion out of the analytics. The movie ball analytics is saying it should come in somewhere around 300 million.
There is no way. What is our movie ball prediction? It's not 300, is it?
No, our movie ball, like my nonsense that I put together, I'm thinking this thing does somewhere about 80 million.
I was going to say 78 million.
Perfect. That's spot on.
Yeah. All right, we need to project that in our on the website so people start taking us seriously. That, we're not Nostradamuses here, but based on a lot of the data that we've compiled together, I think we've rationalized where we think the receipts are going to end up in totality. This is going to be fun.
This is the world we live in, folks. And, this is not meant to insult anybody. This is, and trust me, I have a smart sister, so I know what I'm talking about. The send help summary. The story follows an employee and her boss who are stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash. All right, I'll go see that. Let me read to you the Wuthering Heights, and please be patient with me. But this is why nobody is going to go see this movie. The story begins in the early 1800s when Mr. Lockwood, a new tenant at Thrush Cross Grange, visits his landlord, Heathcliff, who resides at the nearby Wuthering Heights. Intrigued by Heathcliff's mysterious demeanor, Lockwood asks the housekeeper, Nellie Dean, to recount the history of Wuthering Heights and its inhabitants. End paragraph 1. This is literally friggin' 4 paragraphs of summary that recounts basically the book. Nobody's reading this summary. We're in a TikTok age, folks. If you don't have 30 seconds of a blip, you're moving on. You're swiping left. You're swiping up. You're doing whatever. Nobody is reading this. A plane crash on a deserted island. Nellie's narrative reveals that Mr. Earnshaw, the owner of Wuthering Heights, adopts an orphan named Heathcliff, who becomes close to Earnshaw's daughter, Catherine. It keeps going and going.
Yeah, yawn. One big fat yawn.
Yeah, done. I got Margot Robbie in a bunch of crazy Victorian outfits running around a Victorian manor in the English countryside with Frankenstein with his shirt off. Go see it. Boom. That's it. That's all people need to know.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you another example.
Pretty concise.
A bit high-stakes heist thriller starring Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and Barry Keoghan, based on a Don Winslow novel. The Crime 101 don't even tell you what it's about. It tells you about the history of Crime 101. So they're kind of like, you guys have seen it. You know the story already. We don't even need to tell you. We're just going to tell you who's in it. Hope you go see it.
So before the movie, right, all the trailers today at the theater, there's a ton of these comedic horror movies that are coming out this year. Did you know that there's a Scream 7 that's coming out?
I do. It's on the list. I made a prediction. You should check it.
Okay. And then there was this other one. It was something with, hold on, let me look it up.
You don't need to look up anything but the website. Just go to the website. Everything you need to know is there. Scream 7, February 27th. Neve Campbell.
No. Not
$50 million budget. Shit.
Ready or Not, Here I Come.
I'm really looking forward to that. Samara Weaving.
What's our movie ball prediction on this?
It wasn't available when I put this together, so I got to add it in. There's Dave. Thank you for coming and please don't die. I think the name is the new Sam Rockwell movie. I got to get that added in. I got to get Ready or Not 2 added. There's like 4 movies that got announced late that I got to add into the site. But I haven't done any analytics on Ready or Not, but I will definitely go see that because she's my number one crush if I had to pick one.
Who?
Samara Weaving.
Oh.
She's I watched this movie that she was in. Ready or Not is good. Guns Akimbo, super stinko movie with Daniel Radcliffe, but I absolutely love it. There's another one called, I think it's called Mayhem. Yeah, Mayhem. It's got the young kid from Walking Dead, Stephen Young.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the list. If you just want a good time, have fun, go watch just a crazy movie, and you're like, where the hell is this thing going? And just laugh and not think for whatever, an hour and 42 minutes or whatever it is, go watch Mayhem. It is just a fun movie to watch. But she's in it. She's
I
great.
watched it.
Watch it. Go watch it. Stop what you're doing right now. Put this on hold. Go watch it.
Right.
But it's good. But yeah, she's I don't know, top 3 maybe for me.
All right, so that's the week, right? I think that's what our.
Well, we got to show. Let's show the clip for Wuthering Heights, and then we'll talk a little bit about the data on that.
Okay.
And we'll convince you guys that this thing's not going to make money. Although when there's things that are in its favor, which we'll talk about, which I think can skew the data a little bit. But let's go into this.
Fall in.
I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world.
Fall in love. Fall in.
Are you feeling quite right? What? Oh, yes, fine.
Fall in love again and again. 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 Fall in love again and again.
Might be one of those times where I have to stop the trailer.
Do you want me to stop?
Yes, please.
Wow. So I purposefully did not watch a trailer, and I wanted to get the same reaction, like a first time reaction. I might walk that back, my prediction. I think that actually is going to make some money, dude.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know who you are sometimes.
Let's reanalyze this. I said 78. What was I thinking? What was I thinking, John?
That's why the guys who do trailers should win awards.
They're the most, like, they're the MVPs of the studio.
Yeah, the trailer guys, 100%.
Right? Because they're casting that line, and I just bit on that hook, dude.
You did. They're reeling you right in.
Okay, so can I get a mulligan?
No.
My 78 sticks?
No, you can. I'm staying with 80 if you can throw whatever number out there. And the Wayback Machine is throwing out what did I say? 300 million. Yeah. So it's saying it's gonna break even. It's not gonna bust the box office, but it's gonna do a little bit better than break even.
If I had to take a mulligan on that one, I might go 130. It's gonna lose money, but I think I shortchanged it in my original set. And I was just reading, about the movie. I didn't actually see the trailer. The trailer always makes a difference.
Yeah, 100%. So let me give you some data points. So it's coming out February 13th. It's Valentine's Day weekend, and it's President's weekend. So it's a 4-day weekend. So it's got a big 4-day weekend coming out. It's competing against Crime 101, but I would guess there's probably 2 separate audiences. One's a little more action, one's a little more date night kind of deals. So you got Wuthering Heights coming out, long weekend. 2 beautiful people right? Coming in with a fairly confusing story, but it is a love story. Competing against Crime 101. That's it. And the next movie doesn't come out till February 27th, which is Scream 7, which I'm not sure that's going to compete in any kind of space against Wuthering Heights as well. So you got a long weekend, and then you're pretty much free reign until beginning of March from a box office perspective. So it can do well in about 4 weeks there, and then I think after that it's going to start to die off.
Yeah, I just wish if we had the actual factual data about how many theaters this is going to show, it would give, it'd make predicting, a lot easier. Well, not easier, but it would improve our prediction. Because if this is going to get shown in 3,000 or 4,000 theaters, it's a lot different,
Yeah, and I don't know. But if you look at Margot Robbie's data, I mean, up until Suicide Squad, she really focused in that whole same Rachel McAdams space, right? So she was in that 10, 20, 30, $40 million space. I mean, the exception is Wolf of Wall Street. That was $100 million budget, I'm talking. But she was supporting to, a crazy cast with Leonardo DiCaprio, everybody else. Then Tarzan, big budget, but she's got, can't think of his name, the guy whose mother is it. But he's another big, good looking dude. You throw him in the jungle with her running around in the jungle. And that movie broke even, right? $180 million budget, did about 360, 350. So broke even.
Yeah, he had a cool name too. Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård. Yeah. But she was great in that movie, in Tarzan. I think that was the best rendition of Tarzan that they've done.
Yeah, it was good. I've watched it a couple times, and it broke even. So you're taking that, which actually has a little bit of adventure to it, and you're going to basically throw the same thing at Wuthering Heights. Two good-looking people running around with their shirts off, love story, right? Maybe it'll break even, but you lose the adventure part of it.
Legend of Tarzan grossed 356 against the 180 budget.
So it's about broke even.
That had a lot of hype too.
It did. It was everywhere. Wuthering Heights is not really anywhere. I don't think anybody's talking about Wuthering Heights but us.
I didn't know until you told me. And also Legend of Tarzan, you had Samuel L., right? Like, he's always got a following.
Yeah,
so.
He was the bad guy, the evil.
No, he wasn't the bad guy.
Oh, no, the guy from Inglourious Bastards and, and Django. Can't think of his name either.
Yes, Django.
But, he was the bad guy. But then you look at, overall her movies, and you run it right up until Barbie. And it's one of those things, and we've done this to a couple actors. Like, you take one movie out of the mix, and they're break-even actors. But everybody's like, Margot Robbie makes money. Margot Robbie makes money. But because you got Barbie that cost $140 million and made almost $1.5 billion. Like, that just skews the number so out of control, so crazy. But if you look at everything else, and then, I'm sorry, she was also in Peter Rabbit, where she was a voice for Peter Rabbit. And that did well, but the animation and that kind of crap. But she does okay. Like, she makes money. She's popular.
I wonder how many of these were actually produced by her. I'd be curious.
Well, because Barbie, I think, was hers. I think Barbie was her movie.
Really?
Yeah, you should check that, but I'm pretty sure. But what's crazy is when you look that up, this woman, Fennel, who takes writing credit, even though Wuthering Heights has been around for 8,000 years, and the director, I guess an adapted screenplay would probably be what she should be getting credit for. She did Promising Young Woman for $10 million. She did Saltburn, which had a huge cult following, even though it didn't really make any money in the theater, $15 million. But Promising Young Woman made 18. Saltburn in the theater only made 21. And then you throw her into Wuthering Heights with 80 million. This woman's only made 3 other movies before Wuthering Heights.
Dude, Margot Robbie has produced 8 feature films.
What are they?
I, Tonya, Promising Young Woman, you're right about Barbie, Saltburn, Terminal, Dreamland, Birds of Prey, and My Old Ass.
I don't know what that is.
It came out in 24. And she's only 38.
Yeah. So
Wow.
she's producer. Her production company did Barbie.
That's insane.
She's got more money than she knows what to do with.
Yeah, I got to look up her net worth now.
She got Bezos money coming out of that.
Oh, man.
But anyway, so Margot Robbie is kind of the unicorn in this movie that you just don't know what's going to happen. But when you start looking at all the other data points around it, it's kind of like it's just not going to do it. But why we got a little break even is long weekend, Margot Robbie it factor, Frankenstein coming off a lot of success there. You know, people know who he is. He's got a little bit of a following, but the material is just mud.
You know who's worth more than Margot Robbie?
Ben Affleck.
Was he worth more than 70 million?
Yeah, he's 150.
Yeah.
I think her and Kristen Stewart are the same. Which, folks, you know, that's the problem with Hollywood today. Ben Affleck is one of the shittiest actors I know. And then you got Margot Robbie, who's really good in all the stuff that she's in. And her production company did Barbie, and Ben Affleck is still worth more than her. Something wrong with that.
That is insane. But you know who's got them all beat? Because she started her production company a while back, but Reese Witherspoon, she's absolute killed it over the years. Just take a wild guess.
300 million.
Between 420 and 440. She's consistently ranked by Forbes as one of the world's richest self-made women, with her wealth derived from a combination of her acting career, high-value production ventures, and brand partnerships.
I was going to say, does she have like a cosmetic company? It seems like everybody who has like super big dough owns a cosmetic company.
Well, her media company, Hello Sunshine, she made a killing. At one point, it was I think it was valued like close to $1 billion, and it was bought by, not bought, but it was backed by Blackstone.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, folks. So basically, we've modified the theme of movie killers a little bit. We're focusing a lot more on the data and what drives movies to success or to failure. You know, we're going to go and look at the actors and the supporting team around those actors, and then we're going to figure out what other components come into play as far as, you know, time of release, competitor, et cetera, et cetera. So what we're going to try to do each week now is we're going to look at the upcoming movies. Then we're going to compare that to maybe somebody that we just may be particularly disappointed in or angry with for that week, like Ashton Kutcher. I don't know, but then we'll see where it goes from there.
That's so petty, but it's probably entertaining to some.
There's nothing petty about him.
Dude, that's petty, man. Ashton Kutcher, I think
he's a shithead.
I think he's a good guy, wholesome guy.
Why don't you ask Danny Masterson if Ashton Kutcher's a good guy? Call it, just say, Danny. Is Ashton? He's gonna be like, Ashton's a great guy. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate that, buddy. I apologize to all my listeners, but I have to say this is so funny. The Other Guys is one of the funniest movies to me. Like Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. And whenever I think of this, there's a scene where they're arresting the guy at the end. And he's like, yeah, I hope you like prison food. And the guy goes, yeah, and penis. I don't know why that is so funny, but every time I think of Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher, that's what I think of. Like Danny Masterson just sitting in jail, pretty boy Hollywood guy. Yeah. I hope you're...
Is he in for a life sentence? I know he's in for a long time.
In for a long time.
Oof.
Yeah. Good for good. I got a daughter. Let him stay in there.
Yeah.
Let's look that up. Danny Masterson, prison time. Guys, we're way off subject. 30 years to life.
Wow.
California Men's Colony State Prison in San Luis Obispo.
I wonder if that's one of those, maximum facilities.
I hope so. I hope that is like a super max.
What was his actual charge?
Rape, like multiple charges.
Okay. That's not good.
No, leave him in there, man. Put Ashton in there next to him. I don't know if he did anything wrong, but he knew. I know he knew.
All right, this was a good one. It was nice to be back on the Riverside.
We do have a couple fans, so I'm excited. I'm excited that we got fans.
Yeah, and another thing too, our followers count on the different platforms is growing, especially on the TikTok front. I know we've been a little bit negligent on some of the other ones, but we'll get there.
All right, folks. We are going to next week. We will be talking about. You go to my website, guys. Go to the website. Drive some traffic. We're going to talk about Scream 7 and maybe the Sam Rockwell movie or Ready or Not 2. I think those are the next big three that are coming out. I got to get the dates for those, but Scream 7's coming out at the end of the month, so we'll definitely work that in. Because I'm also a big Nev Campbell hater. So if you guys think I just bust on Ashton Kutcher and Ben Affleck, I'm not a Nev Campbell fan either. But the data's the data, and I'm going to let
Wild
the data
Things?
talk. But that movie stunk too. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're well over the hour again. We appreciate everybody who did stay with us and everybody who did listen. We hope you enjoyed it. And we'll get the podcast up. And we'd love to hear the feedback, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, follow us and give us feedback.
Yeah. Do you like the actor? Do you like us talking about upcoming movies? Do you like a little bit of both? Like, we're rolling into episode 7. Like, let's hear what you guys want to hear. And we were able to tailor this. And we're still focusing on the data. That's not going to change. I think that's one of the differentiators for us. Like, we don't come in with a bunch of opinions. We let the numbers talk.
I think we do come on with a bunch of opinions, but we always revert back to the data and the analytics.
Yeah, we don't let it skew the prediction, right?
Right.
We come back and say, because look, you guys have heard it. I love a bunch of crappy movies, but I never came out and said they were going to make money. I like them for the entertainment sake. Like Guns and Wuthering Heights and Crime 101 come out on the 13th.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day weekend.
All right. Well, at least we could do the predictions, and then a week after, I could say, "Hey, I watched it," and give it a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Hopefully, Send Help's not out of the theater by then, so we can keep that running. But they're moving stuff out of the theater so quick these days; it's hard to tell what's going to happen. But we will update.
I should look that up, like what the average, theatrical release, runtime is. Is it a month or is it?
I don't know. I think 28 years later, Bone Temple's already gone. I don't even know if that's still out there.
It's still playing at AMC.
Okay, that's good. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Appreciate the time. Hope you guys had a little bit of fun. Hope you had a couple laughs at least. And I hope you learned something about the, whatever it is that we're trying to explain. So, good?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Our outro music.
All right, you ready? It's going to be loud.
Hit it, Johnny.
Can you hear it?
Makes you want to rage.
3, 2, 1.